I got stopped by a stranger asking about my perfume this month, and it wasn't the expensive niche scent that I expected. I also discovered that I'm wearing much more perfume than I thought. So let's jump right into it and find out which €20 travel size got me the most compliments this month. Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Diana and I am a fragrance enthusiast who has been collecting fragrances over the last 5 years. Here on this channel we talk about all fragrances. It doesn't matter if it's niche, designer or Middle Eastern, the ultimate goal is just to smell good and feel good. So, welcome to my monthly fragrance roundup. These series are basically about fragrances that I am actually wearing from my perfume collection. So this month flew by super fast, just like September, but it was also a very great fragrance month. So in the month of October, I wore perfumes 55 times. This means that a good couple of times I switched up my perfume in the middle of the day, or I layered some fragrances, or maybe even wore some fragrance to bed. I have to say, this was the first month when I really sat down every morning or every time when I put on some fragrance and I noted down what I was actually wearing. And this number really surprised me. I expected that this number would be around the 30-35 range, because eventually I feel that I'm a kind of person who wears fragrance once a day. But I guess I was wrong. Just out of curiosity, I also asked you guys on Instagram about the same. And I learned that about 67% of you wear perfumes 40 times or less in a month. At least that's what you think. If you didn't have the chance to vote, you can do it now. Put down in the comments, how many times do you wear perfumes in a month? Okay, so looking at the type of fragrances, the majority of these fragrances were still lighter wearing, fruity, or actually warm weather appropriate. The reason for this is that I was on vacation in the beginning of the month and the weather was absolutely beautiful in Gran Canaria. By the way, I'm also planning to bring you a video about my local perfume finds from the island. So if you are interested, then please do not forget to subscribe. But then let's start with the first category. The first category is going to be the best office scent. I wore 2 fragrances multiple times to the office throughout October. And when it comes to fragrances that I wear to the office, I have a few important criteria. It has to be likable. I work with people, I spend the majority of my days in meetings, so I cannot really smell too strong or too weird. It also has to have relatively good performance. I have really days when I don't have time to worry about refreshing my makeup or my scent during the day. So the first perfume that I wore multiple times is 100 Silent Ways from Nishane. It is a very beautiful, fruity, floral vanilla that is very likable with very good, eventually exceptional longevity and great sillage. The keynotes are tuberose, peach, gardenia, jasmine, orris, vanilla and sandalwood. So this perfume had its round within the fragrance community a couple of years back, but I think it is still a great scent. It is very timeless, very elegant. The other fragrance that I wore multiple times to the office was the new Libre Vanille Couture. Honestly, the Libre line has always been associated with work for me, or a bit more formal settings, so it was not really a surprise that I was kind of gravitating towards this scent multiple times when I went to the office. Originally, I did not give it a stellar review, because I felt that the vanilla was not really warm enough. It really gave me a little bit of a Bianco latte vibes. And yes, Bianco latte is a colder feeling vanilla to me. It's not warm at all. But as I wore Vanille Couture a few times, I have to admit that we are becoming friends. It carries that distinct Libre DNA, which gives me confidence. And then it also gives an extra layer of sweetness for the colder days. So jumping on to the next category, it's the best everyday scent. For this category, I chose the perfume that I wore the most this month. It is not really appropriate for this season, but as I said, I spent quite some time on the beach. So the most worn and best everyday scent of October is going to be Sunplosion from Simone Andreoli. I only have this travel size with me. I have the full bottle, but usually I pack away my seasonal fragrances and now it's already in its box. So I only have the travel with me. It has mango, guava, coconut water, lime and hibiscus. To be honest, I think Sunplosion has a better performance than Leisure in Paradise, and somehow I also like the scent of Sunplosion a bit better. I wore this perfume 4 or 5 times during the vacation, during the day, also for dinner, and during some late afternoon evening strolls as well. It is not the strongest projector, but I was able to smell myself also after a couple of hours in the heat. The next category will be the best purchase of the month. Now, I did not really purchase too many perfumes during last month. I have acquired a couple of perfumes during my trip, but I will not include them in this video as I am planning to haul them separately. So the best purchase of the month then should go to Nest Indigo. This is not a new perfume by any means, but it is new to me. I have only known some Nest perfume oils in the past, but I never really tried their fragrances before. I was also not necessarily interested, but I got a notification from Cold Beauty that a significant amount of points will expire by the end of October. And of course, I could not leave them to expire, right? So I started browsing the website, looking for perfumes that might not be easy to get in my country. And then I stumbled upon Nest, and Cold Beauty even had a sale. So I was able to get this perfume for about 50 euros or so, which was not bad at all. So Indigo is a fig and tea scent with a kind of creamy woody base. It is very sweet, very fruity, and as I said, it has that creamy, thick base. But yet it is still fresh and very uplifting. It is not something that I had in my collection before, so I'm very, very happy about it. I really like the contrast between the darkness of the fig and the freshness of the tea. It is an absolutely beautiful scent, and it is something that I could wear, for example, to the office or any occasions when I would like to smell a bit like fresh, clean and still put together. So now I'm even wondering if I should do a deep dive into Nest. Are you interested in any Nest fragrances or Nest perfume reviews? Please let me know. Even though Indigo hasn't got any compliments yet, but it could run for the most complimented fragrance category in the future, I think. But let's see what was the most complimented in the month of October. So the most complimented perfume was quite a big surprise to me. No, it was not a vanilla, it was not even a very expensive niche scent, but it was none other than North Bondi from Ouai. So basically this tiny bottle outperformed my niche perfumes in this month. It is a kind of fresh, sparkling, citrusy floral scent. It has the notes of lemon, apple blossom, bergamot, rose, violet, jasmine and white musk. The jasmine is very clean, even a slightly bit soapy, and the violet is actually adding a hint of powderiness, but it rather helps with the longevity and projection in my opinion. Going back to the compliments, I got 2 compliments when I wore it. One from my boyfriend who's quite picky, and another one from a stranger, actually a couple, who were sitting at the table next to us during dinner. The woman leaned to me and then I said that, "Oh, you smell really nice, what is that?" Yeah, by the way, I'm not sure why, but I tend to react so weird when I get a compliment. I just start blabbing around the perfume, the house, where I got it from, the notes, even though I guess the person who gave me the compliment doesn't really care. So she was smiling awkwardly and let me finish my 3 or 4, 5, 6 sentence speech. But I am sure that she thought that yeah, I was a complete weirdo. But anyways, let's move on to the best rediscovery. So the best rediscovery of the month is Alien Goddess Supra Floral. It was the Alien flanker, I believe, 2 years ago, and when I purchased it, I really loved it. I wore it quite a lot, as you can also see. I have quite a nice dent. But then, you know what happens. I moved on and I never returned to it. It is a very beautiful floral amber fragrance with some nice fruity touches. It is also quite strong, so it was perfect for some colder days when we started entering into the beautiful rainy Dutch weather. And by the way, controversial opinion, I think this flanker is better than the original Alien Goddess. Okay, when it comes to biggest disappointment of the month, I did not really have any big disappointments, luckily. If I really want to highlight something, then that's maybe that Gypsy water still doesn't last on me. I am using it now as my gym scent, as I can get maximum, I don't know, about an hour wear. But then it also means that I'm technically showering in it to get this performance. It is like really spraying 20 to 30 sprays, drenching myself in perfume, right? I also mentioned it in the past that I own the dupe from Dua, and it smells quite close enough to the original, but it is a slightly bit sweeter. But luckily it lasts like 10 times longer on the skin. So I will definitely not repurchase this, but if you have any good recommendations that are close to the original Gypsy water, then please do let me know below in the comments. Moving on to the last category, which is the best date night perfume. Now, we did not really have any regular date nights this month. Of course, during the vacation, we went out for dinner multiple times, but you know, those dinners are rather about exploring the local food than really being on a date. So when it comes to really going out, we only went out one time with our friends and family during this month. Yeah, I wore Kilian Love Don't Be Shy at that time, which, if you don't know, it is a very beautiful, sweet, delectable perfume with orange blossom, marshmallows, caramel and musk. My bottle is quite old. As you can see, the juice just gotten richer, and also the scent became much longer lasting, I have to say. So I was very happy with the performance during that date night. And of course, the scent is just beautiful, captivating, sweet, perfect for special occasions or date nights. So I guess this was it for today. I'm very interested about your fragrances that you were wearing during the month of October. Please share your fragrance favorites in the comments. And also, maybe if you have still some time, I'm recommending another video to watch on the end screen that I think you will enjoy. And until the next time, bye bye!